Hey guys, it's Kate. I'm just jumping on here real quick because I just had a little thought in my mind and I wanted to share it with you guys. So for all my fellow body-based trauma survivors out there, you might be considering starting up a yoga practice. You might be a regular practitioner already. You may have discovered yoga as a purely physical thing, or you may have gone into it wishing for some healing. Sometimes the case, quite often, honestly, is what I see in my 10 years of teaching yoga. And oftentimes as survivors of body-based trauma, there will be things that happen during the class that do not really resonate or fit with us as survivors of this particular trauma. One of those things is pranayama. Now, pranayama is breathing techniques that you may come across in the yoga class. You may have come across it already in some meditations. Perhaps there is some breath techniques or breath work that happens during the class. And I just want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up because if you are a practitioner who is relatively new and you have experienced a body-based trauma, there is a chance that you are going to feel extremely stressed whilst doing these breath holding techniques or breath retention or any kind of control of the breathing, okay? So perhaps as children, there was some body-based trauma involved. Perhaps there's been in your adult life some trauma, some body-based trauma. And it could be that especially if this happened in childhood and it was a reoccurring thing that was happening to you, as it was in my case, you may find that for a lot of your childhood, you were inadvertently holding your breath and you didn't even realize, and your shoulders were kind of up and you were holding your breath a lot of the time. So this sort of breath retention practice, it can be extremely triggering for my friends who have suffered with a body-based trauma or a trauma in your childhood or something that was persistently happening over a long period of time. If at any point you feel during your practice, if you are doing any pranayama, any breath retention, it can be extremely, amazing. It can be a wonderful practice. Okay, so I don't want you to just think that I'm naysaying about it. I'm not. It can be amazing. But only do what feels right for you in that moment. And if you feel panicky or anxious at any point, stop immediately. Just go back to your normal breathing.